Your closest friend is statistically more likely to betray you than your worst enemy. And Robert Greene's second law of power explains exactly why this counterintuitive truth could be the key to unlocking unprecedented success in your life. Most people think keeping friends close and enemies at arm's length is smart strategy. They're setting themselves up for devastating failure. And by the end of this video, you'll understand how to flip this script and turn your biggest obstacles into your most powerful allies. Here's what nobody tells you about the second law of power. Never put too much trust in friends and learn how to use enemies. This isn't about becoming paranoid or cruel. It's about understanding human psychology at its deepest level. A study from Harvard Business School found that 87% of business betrayals come from people within the inner circle, not from competitors or enemies. Why? Because your friends know exactly where to strike. Think about it logically. Your friends have access to your vulnerabilities, your fears, your weaknesses, your blind spots. They've seen you at your lowest moments. They know what keeps you up at night. An enemy, they're operating in the dark. They can attack your public persona, but they can't reach your soul because you've never given them the keys to your kingdom. Your friend, they have a master key to every locked door in your psyche. But here's where most people misunderstand Greene's teaching. This isn't about becoming a paranoid loner who trusts nobody. It's about maintaining what psychologists call optimal distance, even with your closest allies. Keep some cards close to your chest. Share your victories, share your growth, but your deepest strategies, your most vulnerable moments, your core weaknesses, these require careful consideration before sharing. Now let's talk about the second part. Learning to use enemies. This is where the real magic happens. An enemy converted becomes more loyal than a friend ever could because they have something to prove. They've publicly opposed you. So when they switch sides, their reputation depends on your success. A friend who helps you, that's expected. An enemy who becomes an ally, that's transformation. Here's your step-by-step approach. First, audit your inner circle. Ask yourself, who knows too much about my weaknesses? Who has access to information that could destroy me if weaponized? Who shows subtle signs of resentment when I succeed? This isn't about cutting people off. It's about adjusting your information sharing strategy. Second, identify your most intelligent enemies. Not the mindless haters. The strategic opponents who actually pose real challenges. These are your conversion targets. The person criticizing your business strategy might become your best advisor. The competitor studying your every move might become your most valuable partner. Third, create conversion opportunities. This doesn't mean fake friendness or manipulation. It means genuine value exchange. What do they want that you can provide? What skills do they have that could benefit you both? How can you transform opposition into collaboration? Sometimes this means acknowledging their valid criticisms. Sometimes it means offering them something they need more than they need to oppose you. The psychological research backs this up. Dr. Leon Festinger's studies on cognitive dissonance show that when someone changes their position about you, especially publicly, they experience internal pressure to justify that change by becoming genuinely supportive. An enemy who becomes neutral has less psychological investment than an enemy who becomes an active ally. But here's when this strategy doesn't apply. If someone is fundamentally toxic, if they operate from pure malice rather than strategic opposition, if they've crossed certain ethical lines, conversion isn't worth the risk. Some battles aren't worth winning and some enemies aren't worth having as friends. The friend audit is also nuanced. This isn't about paranoia or isolation. Maintain warm relationships, support each other, celebrate together, but understand that even good people can make bad decisions when jealousy, resentment, or desperation kicks in. The friend who borrowed money and hasn't paid it back. The friend who seems uncomfortable when you succeed. The friend who shares your private conversations with others. These are yellow flags that require attention. Here's what this looks like practically. Keep your strategic plans to yourself until they're executed. Share your victories but not your methods. Be generous with credit but careful with information. When someone opposes you intelligently, instead of viewing them as a permanent enemy, ask yourself how you might align your interests. Remember, this isn't about becoming cold or calculating. It's about understanding that human nature is complex and that trust should be earned in layers, not given wholesale. Your enemies respect your boundaries because they have to. Your friends might cross them because they think they can. The most successful people throughout history understood this principle intuitively. They maintained warm relationships while keeping strategic distance. And they transformed opposition into opportunity whenever possible. Thanks for watching, champions. Keep pushing yourself, keep growing, and remember, you versus you. I'll see you in the next video where we'll dive even deeper into strategic relationship management and the third law of power. Until then, stay strong.